Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another video. Today is July 11th. Checking out the first stock we're going to look at in the video over here. And the video actually got upgraded to 550. She'd been actually going sideways since June 30th. You can see that since June 30th, she'd been actually going sideways around that 428 level, trapped between 430, and then she has a support at 420. So I want to watch to see what's going to happen, especially since these investors are trying to basically pump the stock. You guys can see that KeyBank has upgraded it from 500 to 550. It's trading at 439. Let's see what happens. Just because the stock gets an upgrade or downgrade does not mean the stock has to go there. It's just giving us the opportunity to look at the stock for possible movement, right? So make sure you guys watch the video, especially since it did have that nice run up and it seemed to basically find some type of resistance after that major run up. You guys can see that we were trading around like 300 and now we're basically trading around those 400 levels, struggling to go higher. So let's see what happens. Watch for the break of 431, then we can start going to 439, maybe even higher, or to the downside. She needs to break at least 418, breaks the 1 year trade line, and then we can start going down towards the 402 levels. Kind of the same situation with Shopify. Shopify basically went from 46 to 67 and it's been struggling to break that 67 multiple times. You guys can see it. We hit it 67 multiple times over here. And we basically start to pull back. So let's see what happens. Shopify actually got oversold over here. And it seems like the MACD is trying to cross over. I wouldn't try to get in unless we start to hold above 63. Then we can start possibly pushing back up towards the 67 levels. To the downside, I want to watch for the break below 61, and then we can start going down to 60 and maybe lower. Next one we're going to talk about is Meta. Meta is basically seeing extreme growth with their new platform called Thread. So I don't know if you guys downloaded it yet, but Thread is basically the new copycat Twitter. And within 4 days, they got over, I believe, over 4 million users. So definitely want to see what's going to happen with Meta. Meta basically hit a resistance at 300, pulled back over here around 289, and basically we're struggling with this area right here. We need to break above 330 cents before we can start possibly pushing up towards 310, 305 up here. So let's see what happens. But to the downside, we want to watch to see if we break and hold below 293, and then we can start going down towards 288. Make sure you guys keep Meta on the watch list. Make sure you guys set your alerts. This one can be a possible mover. Next one we're going to talk about is actually Apple. Apple basically was on a nice upward trend. You guys know how Apple gets. Apple is trading at 124, went to 194. Apple does have earnings coming up next month on the 3rd. So let's see what overall happens with Apple. But we hit 194, which is the 180-day high. MACD crossed down. RSI was overbought. RSI is getting oversold. This may be time for a possible reversal. So watch for Apple to break and hold above 189. And we can start pushing to 192. 194. Typically, stocks do like to run in a direction before their earnings. So let's see what direction Apple's going to run into. Make sure you guys set your alerts for either or situation, especially Apple. Apple is one that you want to hold and not really trade. Next one we're going to talk about, I did a video about this one yesterday, was Carvana. Carvana is actually making new highs this morning. I know some of my students wanted to swing yesterday. Some people didn't swing, but Carvana is at $35, right? So that was our main target for yesterday. Yesterday, we were hoping it hit 35, but some stocks like to move overnight, and you can see Carvana sitting at 35 right now. So what are we going to do today, right? So overall, RSI is extremely overbought. So this is a high risk long position, like I said, but when the RSI stays in the red zone, we can continue to uptrend, right? If we drop down towards the smaller charts, 30-day, you guys can see we're overbought over here as well. We may have some type of pullback at the bell, right? All depends on how the stock is going to move, but RSI is overbought on the smaller charts, meaning we may have some type of reset, kind of like yesterday, right? Yesterday, the stock opened up at 930, but it basically pulled back, right? RSI was overbought. We pulled back and then we started to rally. Same situation can possibly happen today where we're overbought. We could possibly pull back and then start to rally. So unless we start to hold above 35 and then we get clean crossovers over there, You set a stop loss, but overall, I would love for the RSI to pull back, reset for us to get a proper trade. This way we don't have to worry as we're in a stock that we're in a stock overbought on the smaller chart. So definitely want to watch Carvana today. I think she does have the possibility to hit that $40 price point. If we jump over towards the 1 year, you guys could see that $40 right after break 35, $40 was the next 43 actually was the next major resistance, and then 58, right? So let's see what happens. The stock has been pushing. Make sure you guys keep this on the watch list, right? The red flag for this stock, right? Let's jump over towards the 20-day. Red flag would be the break of the 20-day trade line, right? So this is the 1 hour 20-day. You guys can see we've been holding above that 1 hour 20-day throughout this whole upward trend, right? From basically July 7th. It did not just now start to squeeze or run up. It's been holding since July 7th, right? Right over here. And we have not had a candle open and close below this trade line. The moment the reversal happens and we have a candle open and close below that 20-day trade line, this trade is invalid and the stock is basically going to trend downwards, right? So that's why I love to see the trade line, especially gives you confidence to hold a trade. When it's above it, the stock is bullish. When it's below it, the stock is bearish. All right, next one we're going to talk about is Tesla. Tesla's basically been having some issues lately. Let's jump over towards the 180-day. Tesla's having issues with upward trend because she's been holding below this blue line, right? Below the blue line, we're bearish, right? So you can see Tesla, every time she basically approaches that blue line over here, we've been basically rejecting it and coming down lower. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think Tesla's run is over and we're going to start pulling back? So let's overall watch Tesla. Main level you want to watch is going to be that 265 break. I know she's at 270, but 265 is the low over here, right? So 265, and then we have a gap fill to like 250s. The 1 year is overbought on Tesla, right? You guys can see that MACD's crossed down overbought. So Tesla could want to basically let off some steam and pull back a little bit before it continues up its upward trend. Tesla is another stock that basically ran from 167 all the way up towards those 280 levels. So make sure you guys keep an eye on Tesla. Overall, she has been having a pullback. She has some key support levels to the downside. She's still above the 180-day trade line, and she's still above the 20-day SMA. So she's kind of trapped between a major resistance and a major support. Who is going to win the battle, right? Now, speaking of battle, we're going to talk about SPY. SPY is having a similar battle, basically trapped between, if we look at the 20-day, we have the 20-day SMA. Whenever the stock is above it, you can see it acted as support. The stock pushed up. Whenever the stock is below it, it can act as resistance. So let's see what happens. SPY has been basically um, ready to put up a fight and pushing upwards after major downward trends. You guys can see that we're kind of making higher lows over here from the 10th of July. You guys can see from actually yesterday, right? We basically pulled back over here and we started to make higher lows. That is a bullish sign. So let's see what happens. Let's jump over towards the 180-day. 180-day MACD actually got violated yesterday, meaning that the trade line, we were trading below it as a bearish trend from basically July 5th. We were trading below it. Yeah, we tried to break above it, but we quickly sold right off, right, within the same day. And then basically we started to hold below it. But now we're trying to hold above the 180-day trade line. That is a bullish sign. So if we break and hold above 441, we could start basically pushing a 442, maybe 444. To the downside, watch for the break of 439 down towards that 438, maybe even 436. I'll see you guys in the chat room if you guys are in our chat room. Hopefully you guys all have a green trading day. Make sure you guys practice patience. Don't just chase Carvana or anything like that. Make sure you guys have a solid game plan where you're getting in, where you're getting out, where you're setting your stop loss. Hopefully you have a green day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.